Islam is currently the fastest growing religion in the world. According to many demographic studies, it may become the world's largest religion later this century. But how did Islam spread across so much of the world? Was it spread by the sword or by knowledge? Let's find out. According to Islamic belief, Islam is not a new religion. Muslims believe it began with the first human and prophet Adam alayhi salam. In this video, however, we will focus on the rise of Islam after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Within about 100 years after his passing, the Islamic Caliphate became one of the largest empires in history. It stretched from the borders of India to the Iberian Peninsula, including much of the modern-day Spain and Portugal. This brings us to an important point. We must understand the difference between the expansion of the Islamic Caliphate as a state and the spread of Islam as a religion. If we are talking about the Caliphate as a political empire, then yes, it expanded through wars and military campaigns, just like many other great empires of its time. In this respect, the early Muslim state was not unique. But did that mean people were forced to become Muslims? The answer is, in general, no. While there were exceptions under some rulers at different times, forcing people to accept Islam was not the normal teaching or policy of Islam. Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 256, "There is no compulsion in religion." Islamic teachings, including this Quranic command, meant that non-Muslims living under Muslim rule were generally allowed to practice their own religion. Under Islamic law, many non-Muslim communities paid a tax called jizya. In return, the state provided protection, and they were generally exempt from military service. Jizya was generally collected from able-bodied adult men who could afford it. Women, children, the elderly, the poor, monks, and many people with disabilities were generally exempt. Like many historical systems, however, the way jizya was applied sometimes differed from one ruler or period to another. Historical evidence also supports this picture. After Muslim armies conquered places such as Egypt, Syria, and Persia, most people remained Christian or Zoroastrian for centuries. If large-scale forced conversion had been the normal policy, these regions would likely have become overwhelmingly Muslim much sooner. Instead, Islam spread gradually over many generations. This does not mean every Muslim ruler always followed Islamic teachings. Like every civilization in history, some rulers acted unjustly or misused their authority. Those actions reflected the choices of individuals, not the teachings of Islam. In many recorded cases, when rulers or governors tried to pressure people into accepting Islam, Muslim scholars and other religious leaders spoke against such actions. They reminded rulers that true faith must come from sincere belief and that Allah has forbidden forcing Islam upon non-Muslims. According to early Islamic historical sources, Caliph Umar ibn Abdul Aziz wrote to governors who were putting pressure on people to accept Islam. He reminded them that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was sent to convey Allah's message and that faith should come from a person's own choice, not from force. So, if Islam was generally not spread by force, how did it reach millions of people? The answer is simple. Islam spread in many ways. Muslim merchants carried Islam to Africa and Asia through trade. Scholars, teachers, and Sufi preachers shared its message through peaceful preaching and education. Many people accepted Islam after living alongside Muslims, observing their character, and learning about their religion for themselves. Knowledge also played a major role in the growth of Islamic civilization. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ encouraged Muslims to seek knowledge. This inspired generations of Muslims to establish schools, libraries, universities, and centers of learning. During the Islamic Golden Age, cities such as Baghdad became among the world's greatest centers of science and education. Muslim scholars made major contributions to mathematics, medicine, astronomy, geography, chemistry, and optics. They preserved, translated, and expanded the knowledge of earlier civilizations while making important discoveries of their own. Muslim, Christian, Jewish, and scholars from other backgrounds worked together in many centers of learning, contributing to scientific and intellectual progress. History gives us a clear picture. The Islamic Caliphate expanded through wars, just as many other empires of its time did. But Islam itself spread mainly through trade, education, peaceful preaching, good character, and the free choice of millions of people over many centuries. Among all the great Muslim empires in history, one stood at the center of world's politics for more than 600 years, the Ottoman Empire. To learn how it rose to become one of the history's greatest powers and what finally led to its fall, click on the video on your screen.